Israel's reaction to the alleged deaths of more than 900 Israelis in recent days has been swift. Gaza is currently the target of thousands of air raids. Deprived of any necessary services, including water and electricity, Gaza's cuisine seems to be just as if Palestinians feel satisfied with the Israeli military force's strength. Israel claims that Hamas is to blame for the pain of the Gazan people as well as its response. The attacks by Hamas have barely just started. Hamas has made threats to begin murdering its Israeli captives while airstrikes continued for an hour. After an hour, Palestinian militant organizations resolutely continuing their own barrage of airborne missiles into the rocking air rockets. Our BBC crew was there in southern Israel's Ashalon, which is not far from where a volley was fired towards the Gaza border. In Ashalon, which is so near Gaza, there is a maximum of 10 seconds. Israel is advancing further, so beware of the next stage of it seems that an attack against Hamas will be a ground assault far more powerful than others since Hamas assumed control of Hamas in 2007. Cars lined up at a military base were parked near the route leading to Gaza. Once they reported for duty, reservists were getting prepared to speak, and their parents visited the base for a last farewell, spending a brief period of time with their boys, wishing and wishing for the finest and most difficult moments right now. He is being advised to try and pay attention to his mission. Without giving it much thought, the other pals who suffered injuries killed Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu. Broadcast to his network, he declared to the nation that Hamas had erred in historical proportions, he said, would be precise, a price that they will remember, including Israel's adversaries, for Israel's citizens have been yearning for their military to take immediate action. The closest Israeli community to Gaza, strewn by the wreckage of war, felt similar to the core of Israel's tragedy, except for security, it was nearly empty. Forces Hamas has been firing rockets for years. Because they had never before rushed into the Hamas killing ground's focal point, they stormed inside the police station and utilized it as a shooting base. Both civilians and Israeli soldiers' blood, as well as the wound smear walls even in this place, which is always a frontline town. It wasn't intended to occur. They anticipated that their armed forces would be supported by intelligence services to keep them safe, and the fact that didn't occur indicates that there were accusations. But who may they be? Those in charge have already begun, albeit at the same time, a strong sensation of national unity with the nation as a whole about the next events in the locations where Hamas assaulted Israelis. Both the military and the few civilians left are jumpy and stunned by the ground. Defenseless felt unnatural and imminent, and only a few kilometers away in Gaza, accident victims enter the primary hospital. No longer the first few hundred of many, it will worsen. Palestine residents and Israelis are once again exposed to the anvil of battle in a century-old dispute that is the deadliest it's ever been. This evening, I was here in Ashdod, so far, everything seems to be somewhat calmer, and additionally, I'm not hearing as loudly as explosions during the Gaza war during the daytime hours. Although they won't, in my opinion, have any. I imagine that this side is silent at night. Israelis are anticipating what the next thing that the government does feels like. Nearly like a lull, but back to Gaza's. The military is undoubtedly uneasy. While they fired their firearms at our automobiles, since I approached their checkpoints, people continued to worry that there were fugitive Hamas members in Gaza. Consider that there must be a strong feeling of citizens' anxiety, as well as concern, for Hamas must have anticipated such a reaction to the magnitude of what they did. Maybe they are willing, who knows. If you love the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.